Yes, folks. How's everyone doing today? I just realised looking down there, I need to really sort out my background. It's terrible, isn't it? But anyway, hope everybody's good. Fresh from the Daniel Farker presser. Thanks for all the love on the previous video. Some really good questions and comments. Honestly, I'm going through them now. Some quality in there. You know, I like it when people ask difficult questions and interesting questions, not just these rubbish. Get him out. I appreciate everyone, but like think about, oh yeah, maybe, you know what I mean. But anyway, let's just get straight into this. How are we going to play the lineup for the game at the weekend against Derby? And for the first time in probably a while, there's probably many positions up that you could probably argue, potentially. And we're going to go through what he said and how that works as well. But one thing that is clear straight away is this guy is in doubt. We'll just change him to yellow real quick. You've got Verpo, Voba, and Schmidt in that position. Byram, I believe he said, is out. So he's got to be a red, I'm afraid. He goes there. Who's he go with? Again, if he's fit, if he does pass the late medical test, it will be Junior Verpo, of course. But he said it might not be. And that also a question about who to play there. Schmidt just back. Not enough to play 90, he said, so Schmidt will not be that player. So really, it's down to this. Either way, you either have your starting guy or you have a centre-back who is a centre-back playing at left-back, which isn't ideal. But again, with injuries, this is weird, right? When we have injuries, they all seem to be in the same position. Really strange. Both our midfielders out, now all of our left-backs are out. It's crazy. Yeah. Don't know what's going to happen. It depends on Verpo, but of course, when you're bringing in Max Voba, it's going to be a different style of game, a different type of build-up. You know, he's very good on the ball. He's Max Voba. He's not the most mobile. He's not the most aggressive going forward. I still think he's fairly capable at this level in this league to do something like this, to play in that left back role. But the question is there: who will that be? I have no idea. I'm not going to guess. Like I'm not part of the medical team. I don't know if Junior's going to be all right. But either or, it is what it is. We've got to get on with it. Max Voba's not a bad option at left back, is he? In this league, let's be honest. Rather than centre back as an option. But that's the way it is. That's the game. So yeah, it's going to be one of them two. And I'm just going to put, for argument's sake, I think Verpo will be fine. Maybe not. Probably not. But I'll put him there anyway. Midfield, we know it's going to be those two. But what he did say about midfield is Capitano is close to returning. I'm going to give him a white shirt. So yeah, just a quick thing on Ampadu. It's really interesting actually for me how quick he's come back. It's remarkable, and I think we've missed him massively. I mentioned this in my last video for those who watched. Thanks for watching. That he's so important. And even though some stats might suggest Rothwell and Tanaka are as good as Ampadu defensively, watch the game. There's so many times in which they're not where Ampadu would be. They might have more impetus going forward, which they obviously do. They're really good at that. But defensively, and as a balance, I just really like Ampadu in midfield. Farker mentioned he's the most important player in the team. I agree. He's the captain. He did have a shaky start to the season, but for the last 2 or 3 games, he was very good. He was back to his best. And the way he just reads the game defensively is, and I can't wait. When he comes back, I'm doing a video straight away, because I feel I was a bit, not harsh, because he weren't playing great at the start of the season, but I was very on Ampadu. So when he comes back, if he performs well, I'll be the first person to make a positive tactical video on him. Don't worry about that. But it's good to have the captain back. And he mentioned, in time, we might see this. If Aronson needs a rest or we need to change the game up, there's an option for this. He mentioned about the 10. He wants a 10, by the way. It's so obvious by what he said. He still wants one. And so do I. And I've been saying that since the start of the season, since the start of the January window. But that's just me. Something like this. Pushing the midfielder on, not bringing a winger in there. People need to appreciate it's as a guy who started as a winger, went to left back, but also played for a different team in the 10. I can tell you right now, going from a winger or a fullback into the 10 is a completely different discipline. It's not a video game. it takes a long time to understand the nuances of a formation of a position. As a winger, dominantly, you're against a fullback. That is your role, or a winger, a fellow winger. That is your positional awareness. You track back. You follow him. You follow the fullback if he advances. That's usually what happens. It's fairly. You just sit him. You just help the fullback. You cut the lines off between the centre back and the fullback. Maybe that's how you defend predominantly as a winger. As an attacking midfielder in this system, especially when you're playing a midfield 2, to not have overloads, you need to go as a midfield 3 potentially against an opposition who plays midfield 3. You need someone who is defensively sound and understands and can read the game centrally from a defensive perspective. Aronson can do that. He's played there all his career. Wingers, that could take months to understand. And this is the problem for playing a winger there. Everyone's looking at it from a forward perspective. Of course, they'll be doing what they do, but they do it anyway. Nonto plays so much time in this area. Watch the games. He's always here. Because Aronson picks up pockets, he's not on, he's on the bench, but Aronson will pick up pockets. He'll move around, he'll go out here, he'll rotate with Nonto all the time, and that will continue to happen. But off the ball, defensively, you do not want this. This is not what we need. We need this. This is solid. These guys understand centrally how things look, who the marker should be, where the potential space could be, and that's about learning the role. All right, I'm not going to go too much into it because I've gone into it enough. But that's the difference. If these guys here, Solomon, Ramazan, and Nonto, can understand and learn that, brilliant. But that isn't going to happen over 3 players in midfield, in Rothwell, and 2 Tanaka and Aronson, who can do that already. So what happens when Ampadu does come back is, for me, I think this happens. Now, it's an interesting, because he mentioned it as well, playing in midfielder higher. I still think I want us to bring one in. This is the question. And I'm assuming here, obviously, as rotation with Aronson, because he doesn't have any right now until Ampadu's back. Tanaka can do it. Look, against, for Fortuna Dusseldorf, he played at an advanced 8. He played as an 8, but attacked a lot, attacked the box, got in the box, scored goals, got an assist from advanced positions. So he has proven he can do it. I've not seen much of Rothwell in the 10, because I've not seen as much as Rothwell as Tanaka in his previous career, in his previous team. Previous life. But, I mean, just watching him is capable, isn't he? As a defensive player as well, just sitting in front of these two is probably more suited. Because I don't think he's as good defensively as Ampadu or Tanaka at all. But sitting there just in that role, just cutting off the lines, pressing if needed, I think it could work. But anyway, we need a 10. I keep saying this. But yeah, the point being, excellent rotation options with Ampadu back. And you've got Ampadu back. And the defensive solidarity of Ampadu Tanaka or Ampadu Rothwell with Tanaka in there, either way you want to do it, just looks nice to me. It just looks like a really nice midfield 3. Doesn't that just look beautifully balanced? But again, like I said, he's not back yet. He isn't going to start. We have Aronson there, who again still looks fine. I just don't like that from a defensive perspective. I'll be honest. We need someone who reads the game, who can track runners defensively. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that too much. It's good, right? It's a good conversation to have. It's a good discussion. But we know the midfield 3 is going to be this until Ampadu is back, or unless there's injuries. Now we talk about the strikers, and yeah, these the 3 attackers. This is going to trigger people because talking about players just absolutely makes fully grown humans really angry sometimes. I don't understand. It's not that deep. Chill out. They're just people, mate. Mental, innit? But anyway, God, yeah. What he said about Mateo Joseph and Patrick Bamford is interesting. Now, I know what everyone's going to say. We need to move on from Patrick and all this. Fact of the matter is, and people don't agree with this because people think Bamford has this hold over the club. It's genuinely conspiracy what people say about Patrick Bamford to try and understand why he's been picked. Honestly, it's actually insane. He's been picked over Mateo Joseph, and this is what the manager said as well, based on how he's been performing at training. None of you lot are there. I'm not there. So you can choose to not believe Farker and go down to conspiracies. That's not true. He just thinks he just needs to play him. He's on more wages, or he just loves him. Why would he just love him? He just loves him because he wants the team to win, and he thinks he's going to get a better way of winning the team winning with him there based on what he's doing at training. From my experience, that's how it works. We've had top players when I was at, well, wherever I was at uni or whatever, top players who didn't train. And if we had a full squad, they didn't play if they didn't train. And most of the time, we didn't have a full squad, so they had to play anyway. But that's the point. It's all about what you do. Otherwise, what's the point in training? It's literally called training. You're preparing yourself for the game. Who looks most prepared? Who looks better? Who looks sharper? Who looks like they're doing the right things in training? You spend hours doing repetitive movements, scenarios-based training, where you do game situations, and then you're looking at every individual player. And then the analysts are looking at every individual player after the fact, looking at the previous games, look at the movements. Who's done it the most in the most way we want it to be done? That's how a decision is formed. That's how it's based. I'm not criticising Taylor Joseph's work ethic at training because that's not what Farke said. He said, well, basically said that Bamford has impressed him more. And that's on the young man. If Bamford is this guy who should be gone, all right. So start giving Farke no choice but to start you then. Like I said, people always forget this. I was the first person to make a video on Matteo because I really rate him. But I'm not going to sit here as an analyst, a coach, or whatever, and just gaslight a player into thinking they're the best thing in the world, even if they're not doing it. People do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. No one ever did that to me. I never did that to anyone as an analyst or a coach. I want the best out of the person. I want the best out of the player. And if you're not giving your best or you're not performing at your best, I'll support you every second of the way. But I'll be honest with you. You know, maybe too many times in careers, players just get told they're the best. And they don't actually realise that they're not doing as much as they could. Got to do more to earn his right. You can go down conspiracy theories and all that. I'm not doing that rubbish. I'm basing it on my experience and that's it. That's all I base my things on. What I've seen in my life to do with football, that's all I base it on. If a player's not performing at a level that they should be, and another player is performing at a level they should be, and they look better than them in training, and they're doing better things in training, they're going to get picked. Talk about whatever conspiracies you want. He needs to do more. And he's capable of doing more. Is he capable of starting over Patrick Bamford and Joe Perot? 150%. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But he clearly needs to do more to get that opportunity. Or on the other hand, we could go down the crazy route. Maybe he just hates him. Yeah, he just doesn't like him. That's why we decided not to sign a striker, because he just doesn't like him. Yeah, he just hates him. Come on, we can all have that mentality, but that's ridiculous. I had that mentality too many times, I'll be honest with you. No, he's just picking me because he doesn't like me. It's a lot of rubbish. Looking back on it, why the hell did I think like that? So, hard work is required. Patience is required. You've got to do more than the other people around you, especially an experienced player. So they know how to get in the manager's eye. But yeah, that's it. And for the wingers, so, but having said that, it's going to be Perot in it. Anyway. What do you guys think? But yeah, Solomon, Nonto, I think. But justice for Dan James as usual. I just don't think it'll be him. Oh, it might be, but he rested Solomon, didn't he, for a reason? So I'm assuming that's to play him. There's no fresh injuries, as we believe. Ramzani is getting back to it. He's still not match fit. He's probably got about 60 minutes in him at the moment. I don't think he's got any more than that based on what I've seen and how much he's played. But hopefully he can come in and stake a claim. Again, not just come in because of his name and because of the fact that, you know, I don't know, people like him. The fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter who you like. You got to stake your claim and you got to earn it. So hopefully Ramzani comes in, puts his name in the hat and goes, I'm as good as these guys. I want to play. All right, fine. Now we've got a serious question. But right now, I just think it's going to be Solomon and Nonto. Them two need to perform for me. Again, I'm not wiping anyone's backside. I'll praise the players all day. I'll back them all day. I will. But I won't lie. I won't say this or that. I won't just pick them up. I'll criticise them because I know how good they can be. That's the point. If the player's not good enough, probably nicer. It's like they can't do anything else. Fact of the matter is, they're better than probably what they've been playing at consistently this season. Although they've been good, I think they're better than that. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think. I appreciate all the support as usual. Bit feisty, that's what it is. Enjoy it. When I'm like this, I'm enjoying it. I'm happy. I'll see you guys in a bit. Thank you for the love. Bye bye. Peace.